not the Liam Neeson version one, but the really old version. So it's got like stop motion, like Medusa and all that stuff. It was actually the first movie I saw boobs in. So there's that. Joe's drinking beer because he's still stuck in Greece. Alright, so today we got part 2 of the Greek beer reviews for just IPAs specifically. We got a pretty good selection today. Like 2 of the 4 actually have ABVs of over 7%, so that's always exciting if you know me and how I like to just be drunk all the time. But yeah, so first off, we got this Ammousa IPA Fresh Beer Workshop. Don't know exactly what that means. It's an English IPA, so it's all blacked out and shit. It actually says great taste on it, so it's like someone like Donald Trump did the marketing for this. But this actually, it got a double gold medal at the European Beer Challenge in 2019. And apparently that beer challenge, it's in London, it's the only beer challenge that's actually judged by Europe's leading beer buyers. So I don't know where the double gold medal or whatever kind of ranks on it or anything. But anyway, it has a 3.3 out of 5 rating on Untapped. It's only has a 5.5% ABV, but it's got a big complex aroma with hints of citrus fruits, melon, and watermelon. Don't know why they needed to specify that there was 2 types of melon. But anyway, let's see what we're dealing with here. Okay, yeah, it looks like it's gonna be an IPA, I guess. I don't think it's not as big and complex as they maybe made it out to be. It's got like a nice haziness to it, but it's kind of gross actually. I'm gonna go with it's actually, yeah, like it just when it hits you in the front, it's not very fruity, and it's just, I don't know. So I think it's not gross. It's just not really, like, I wouldn't buy this. So it looks like the great taste was a lie. All right, so next up we have what is another IPA from probably what's my favorite brewery in Greece at this point. It's the Kykao Spring Brut IPA. And I think actually this year, this is a new one just because like the old, like just from what I've read online, the Spring Brut IPA actually has an ABV of 8%, but this one only has a 6.5%. So I think they maybe switched something up between this year and last year. But yeah, like, and it actually has like Eldorado, Simcoe hops, like stuff we've all heard of, so that's kind of neat. And I guess the whole Brut IPA thing is a bit on the newer side. It's going to be a little bit drier, which is interesting because like a lot of IPAs want to be juicy and all that shit. But it has a 3.72 out of 5 rating on Untapped.com. Like I said, 6.5% ABV, and it's got tastes or pear, watermelon, and pine notes, not nuts. Okay, gross people. There we go. That looks a little hazy. I like it. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, it actually, I don't think I've ever had a Brut IPA, but this one, it's definitely of the Brut variety in a sense where it's like a lot drier, a lot crisper finish. This isn't by any means my favorite beer. You're not getting all those fruity notes. It's a little bit more floral and maybe the pine forward type shit. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing on that one. No.
It's fine. It's very piney.
Yeah, it's very piney. Drink that at the mountains. Excuse me. All right, so next up we got Septem's 8th Day IPA. Now, I wasn't a huge fan of the Pilsner on this one, but, and like I said, like the naming of their beers, it has to do with like days of the week. So I don't know if they have 8 different beers at this point, but it's the 8th day. This one, luckily, it didn't come in like the super big 500 milliliter one. So if it does suck, it's not as big of a problem for me. It has Citra and Simcoe hops in it though. Like that seems to be how Greeks feel to be like the main hops for IPAs here. It's got a 3.81 out of 5 on Untapped, which is pretty high for Untapped Greek beer ratings, and it's got an ABV of 7%. It's got an aroma of biscuity malt, hint of caramel, fruit, grapefruits, and hops. Like, it's weird. Like, you taste the fucking hops with the fucking beer. But it's a little bit more on the ambery side than like on a hazy type of thing, but yeah, you know, it's for 7%. You're not getting a ton of flavor there. It's just it doesn't. I don't know if there's something wrong with my Septem personally, but it's just I don't know. And I was reminded that there is something wrong with my Septem. Is it deviated? Not 100% sure, but I'm sure if I actually went to the doctor for it, they would probably tell me that. Yeah, and I think this goes to show on the 8th day, God just might have created just not that good of a beer. All right, so last up, we got this one from the Noctua brewery. Apparently, this is actually the first microbrewery in Athens. I'm not 100% sure if that's actually accurate or not. But yeah, they got like this cool, like kind of shiny type of label on it. It's got an owl on it. I don't really know what the deal with the owl is. Maybe it's like, did you ever see Clash of the Titans? Oh, like in the movie Clash of the Titans, they actually have like a little robotic owl that kind of helps Perseus on his journey to cut off the head of Medusa. It's a great movie. It's actually not the Liam Neeson version one, but the really old version. So it's got like stop motion and like Medusa and all that stuff. It was actually the first movie I saw boobs in. So there's that. Anyway, so it has an untapped rating of 3.7. It's got a 7.2% ABV. This is the Night Vision Black IPA. Pretty sure they have a few different IPA varieties, but this was the one that I was drawn to for the sake of this video. It's got intense tropical scents, with a strong body and a dark black color. Once again, it's got the owl, which I mean, yeah, I don't know if, well, let's just see. Let's see what this color is to begin with. Oh dang, that is pretty black, and that is really foamy. That was a horrible pour. Like, wow. But yeah, it looks almost like Coca-Cola. That's kind of tight. They're actually delivering on like what they said they're doing. Dang, I mean, you're not getting any fruit in that shit, but I mean, it has a strong, bold flavor, but I wouldn't say it's fruity at all. It's just really, really dark, and I feel like, yeah. I mean, it's kind of like the scene girl of beers. It's just dark and it's got an owl. Do you remember when all the scene girls had like those owl necklaces from like Urban Outfitters? No? Okay. Actually getting hints of like coffee and stuff too, I guess. But yeah, it's like almost like a stout IPA or something. So it's like, that's good. 7.2% ABV. Look, I'll fuck with it. All right, ranking these ones is a bit on the tough side, I think. You know, the IPAs from part one were like across the board like a little bit more solid IPAs than like what we have today. Like these ones are a little bit more on the fringe, like kind of interesting type IPAs. And last place, I'm probably going to go with the Musa. Just because, yeah, it doesn't do any particular thing well, and I feel like it just tastes so carbonated. It's like almost like drinking a San Pellegrino with like a little bit of IPA poured into it or something. So it doesn't have a lot of flavor, and the taste isn't that great. So I'm kind of pissed that they actually take the time to put that sticker on it. Then second to last, I'm gonna go with probably the Septem. Septem's beers, like, I'm just convinced aren't that good at this point. Yeah, I think, where I would normally give bonus points for, like, having a high ABV, like, I just expected a little bit more in terms of flavor out of it. Like, the labels are cool and everything, but it's just, like, I don't know. It's just not doing it for me. Then second place, I'm gonna give the Spring Brut IPA. It's got the cool like dry finish and everything. 6.5% ABV. It doesn't really deliver on the whole like fruitier notes type of deal, but you know, it's just like I'm never gonna be like, bro, like let me get like a Brut IPA. You got those type of things. So yeah, this would be nice for maybe like 4th of July. It's a little bit on the lighter side, but it's still gonna get you kind of drunk. And then yeah, I'm gonna go with number 1 being the Noctua. It's not great. It's a black IPA. It's got a cool name with the whole night vision thing. Like you're just gonna like drink a few of these and like run around naked in the dark and be like, meow. But yeah, it's definitely a heavier IPA. Just like and like the coloration shows that. But you got your Chinook, your Citron, your Columbus hops. It's got a 70 IBU of 75. This is like one of those. If I'm drinking like a bunch of beers and I got like one. Like, I'll have one, but yeah. So yeah, if you really like this video, like even though I'm not getting any subscribers and nobody's actually watching these, hit the like button or subscribe. I can't wait for football season to come back. Joe's drinking beer because he's still stuck in Greece.